Hiya, welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a pick a card reading asking where is your soulmate right now? What are they up to? Where are they in their journey? Like, just what the fuck is this bitch doing, really? Sorry for swearing, but that's the feeling. For me, at least, that's the mood. Like, what's going on? What's the holdup? Where are they? What are they doing? I'm going to be doing this reading using the Opening of the Key, a modified version of that style of tarot reading, which involves card counting, and it's kind of a bit odd to look at. I've never done it on camera, so we'll see how it turns out. It's going to look really weird, but basically I'm doing 4 groups, and each group will have about a quarter of the deck as their pile. And all the cards are going to be spread out in a little semicircle, and it's just going to kind of show all the energy in your person's sort of energy field, their mental web, their all the energy in their conscious and their unconscious mind. And then certain cards will be tapped, and that will show us the story of what they're doing right now in their life. That sounds really complicated and weird, and it'll probably look kind of weird, but it's a really interesting way to look at the cards, and it does tell some very interesting stories. You kind of go on a journey with it, so I'm excited. But yeah, anyways, there's going to be 4 groups. There will be a significator for each group that you can pick, or also I just put out 4 tea bags to choose from. If you want to choose that way, choose based on the color or based on the flavor, whatever. Just show you really fast. Honey Chai Turmeric Vitality. Soothing Rose Hibiscus Skin Detox. Lovely musty pink color. Honey Lavender Stress Relief. It's blue. And then just purely peppermint. Nothing more to say. Purely peppermint. So each pile corresponds with an element. I'm not going to say which is which, but I feel like it might be kind of obvious. And that kind of also lends a feeling quality to what your person is up to right now. What you're I think I'm going to title this video, What is your soulmate up to? So this is significant connections only. Just letting you know what's going on with them, what area of life are they really focusing on or struggling with right now. And then I probably will also get songs after the video is done as well. I'll put those in the description. Okay, so without further ado, I am going to shuffle and we'll get your piles. Some of you guys have soulmates who are on a journey. I've seen 2 knight cards flash so far. And now a king. Interesting. So maybe some people here with questions about their more masculine partner. Okay, group 1, to go along with this lovely tea bag, you have the World card. Group 2, you have the Ace of Pentacles. There's earthy energy so far. I guess this is soulmates. Group 3, there's a knight for you, the Knight of Swords. And group 4, the Queen of Swords. That's very interesting. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video if you want to think about all the different combinations and iterations, whatever you're drawn to, and then come meet me in the reading. Hi group 1, so this is your pile if you chose the World card, or you were just drawn to that beautiful orange color in that tea bag. I do love that color. You picked the Fire pile. So this tells me that your person is, well, first of all, it tells me that the nature of your connection is probably very, I'm going to say energetically arresting almost. Like this is someone that you may have, we may have like noticed them right away or been really drawn to them and not known why. Or maybe, since I'm assuming you're in separation if you're watching this video, maybe there's someone you thought you could get over and move on from, but they're just staying with you. They're stuck in your energy field and you feel like it can't be over. Here, let me like center this more. We're still working out how this is going to look on camera. You have a pretty small pile. I think your person right now is, with the World card on the top of their pile, is reaching some kind of culmination. So because this is the fire pile, I think this is sort of like them leveling up on an energetic or spiritual level. It's less about them like reaching the top of a career path or achieving something in the world, and more like them achieving something on an internal level, like kind of an energy ascending kind of thing. They've reached a culmination in a cycle, and I think probably there was something that they needed to take care of or go out into the world to experience before they could be with you. I see the World card, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. So yeah, they definitely, obviously, I think they needed to leave you to go experience something or go find something that was missing. I don't think it was about leaving you specifically necessarily, but yeah, I think there's kind of like this seeker energy, like because this is the fire pile, I think that they needed to find some kind of spiritual equilibrium or spiritual fulfillment or alignment before they could move forward in a relationship. Like they had to balance out their own energy, because this is an 8 and it's right next to the High Priestess. It feels like it was almost karmic that they were called away, like they had to learn some new things, gain some experience before they could be with you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so yes, definitely this energy of learning. And it feels kind of frustrated and impatient as well. It feels like the learning is specifically on a very spiritual level. With this card beneath, this is like a subconscious energy, but it's like all of this waiting and this slow growth has been culminating in them gaining a lot of insight and wisdom. So I just feel like, yeah, you may feel really drawn to this person or you have a special connection with them, but when they came into your life originally, they weren't really ready for you. They weren't really mature. Maybe they weren't ready to give you what you deserved. They had to work on themselves and grow themselves a little bit, have some serious learning experiences in life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so it's like they needed to balance out their energy. These two cards, I don't know how well you can see the King and the Four of Cups. I feel like these energies can be very related, because this is a sort of a pouty, like I just see this like little pouty boy being like, like it's like a very emotionally immature energy of like, well, if I can't get what I want, then So this person may have been more emotionally mature and immature when you met them, and they're just like trying to balance themselves internally and really gain more emotional control to become a more, yeah, just a more mature, wise, complete person. Like I see this as them needing to like feed the different parts of themselves and balance out their energies. And it's definitely they're working with their own energy. They're trying really hard to develop themselves. Well, I guess there's not a ton of coins. I was just getting like, well, I guess with the World card on top, I was getting like a very earthy vibe. Like they're trying to balance out their energy field, because they're ready to move forward. They're wanting to move forward in a more, to achieve something in the world, but you can't do that until you're fully balanced within yourself. Or you can't do it to the best of your ability. So I do think that they hold a candle for you, I'll say. I think they have a lot of hopes and dreams, again, like things they really want to achieve, and I think you're a part of that. I think they do fantasize about coming back to you or seeing you again. I think they fantasize about they're really wanting to achieve something in the world, achieve some state of completion, stability, not just emotional, but they want to feel like really grounded and settled with another person. They want to feel like they're building something with another person. So I think, yeah, I think if you fantasize a lot about them, they fantasize a lot about you. And you both, I think you both are definitely desiring reunion. Yeah. And so we end back where we started with the world. Yeah, I think all of their dreams and their fantasies and hopes are pushing them to achieve in the world, to level up, to grow up, because they want to be ready to get to this place of this 10 of coins union, coming together, building something, and just a sense of like completion and harmony, and having found the place where you really belong and the person that you want to spend your days with, and whatever that means to you. Okay, I'm gonna do a 5-7 reading. I do a lot of readings that involve counting. I don't know why, but this is a much less complicated reading. It's just 7 cards, and you count 5 to get from card to card. I don't know if that even makes sense as I describe it. But let's see. So I'll say, what are the signs that this person is coming back into your life? Like, what's the build up? Anything to watch out for? Not in a bad way, not like watch out. But when it feels like the tide's turning. They might be coming back sooner rather than later, but I don't want to say that because it depends from person to person, and I don't like the idea of getting someone's hopes up. This is a Saturn energy, so it can move very slow. It's right next to the Hierophant, which is a Taurus energy. So again, it's like a slower moving energy. Yeah, let's do it. What are the signs? I just saw the Hermit pop up. Okay. That's also Earth energy. You got a lot of Earth major arcana. That's for sure. Okay, cards are very jumpy. I do think this is a fire pile, so I'm not surprised. I think the energy does really want to be expressed. But I'm asking specifically, what are the signs that this person is ready to manifest back into your life? Okay, can you see all of those in frame? No, you can't. Not quite. Okay. So card 1, oh, yeah, okay. So right away, I think you, this is like a card of union. I think when you feel them energetically, this might not apply to all of you, but because this is the fire pile, I wouldn't assume that you don't have an energetic connection. So I think when they start to really occupy their energy field, or you start getting those, everyone always talks about those like weird coincidences of like hearing a person's name, or like, or if you're seeing 1111 a lot, things like that. Whatever personally kind of resonates with you, with your psyche. For me, I definitely do hear certain names a lot. That's something that comes up for me. But yeah, whenever you just feel yourself thinking of them, like where you feel like almost like they're with you in random moments, like you find yourself accidentally talking to them. Not like consciously fantasizing, but unconsciously, I feel like that means they're drawing back into your energy field. Because I think they fantasize about you a lot too. This is probably a mutual experience. Oh my... Okay, you guys are feeling a little twin flamey. Definitely this is a soulmate connection, but that is the theme of the video. But like, this is a lot. So I asked for signs that this person was coming back into your life, and the cards are like, Bolo, come back into your life. That's the sign. But yeah, I think you'll feel a very, very strong energetic pull, and I think you'll both recognize it. And I don't know if in the past, Maybe there was some inaction here that took place. Maybe the energy was too yin on both ends. Again, with the Hermit, the High Priestess, these are all slower moving energies, but I think when you come into your life, you'll feel more like organically able to express the feelings that you have for each other. Oh, okay. So I think there will be challenges. I think this is more like external blockages. Think of this card as being more karmic in nature. Yeah, I mean, there's a sense that there's something holding you back, something to do with propriety, something to do with appropriateness almost. I do see the Five of Cups and the Three of Cups here, so I don't know if there's other people involved that keep you from wanting to act on this, like you're worried about ruining ruining like harmony within your social circle or something. If that's a fear that keeps them away from you or you away from them. But there is like, or a fear of like ruining the friendship. You guys might not be like an actual separation. You might just be sort of circling each other, afraid to make a move, and that basically when you're ready, how you'll know it's time is when you both feel ready to be honest and come together. That's basically what I get. Sorry, that's my dog walking around, if you can hear that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is interesting because you got the Two of Wands and the Two of Cups off the bat, but then it feels like you're afraid. There's like these fears. This might be all in your head. There's like these fears, maybe fears of past pain that hold you back from actually fully going into union. This is another card I use for twin flame, like, symbology. There's this fear that, like, I see this hand, like, being like, stop, like, holding you back. I don't know if you can see the hand on the card. Yeah. Like, you're focusing on some ruling. You're wanting approval from some outside force. So that's kind of like almost, it feels like a test. Like you'll come together and it'll feel really, really good and really, really right and fluid and like you're just on the same wavelength and you vibe. This is a fire pile, so I think it is a very vibey, energetic thing. But then there will be tests that make you feel like maybe this is what you've already been through and this is the test. That's possible. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and so it'll be a question of, are you guys gonna stick it out and go for it, or are you gonna just like go your separate ways and look for new endeavors, look for new opportunities elsewhere? And it's really your choice. Whatever, you know, test or challenge, it does feel very, very overwhelming. It does feel potentially very destructive or like karmic, so it's really up to you. I don't know, it's a general reading. But yeah, there is a feeling of a false start and that there's a lot of experience. You need to gain experience. I almost feel like this is what happened in the past though, because that's what I feel like this arc is about. It's about gaining the experience and knowledge. Yeah, it's all about learning from the process. It's very painful growth, but it is very fruitful. Oh my god, yeah. And then it ends on the world. Yeah, no. Okay, so this is the past. That's not what I asked, but yeah, so the signs that your soulmate's coming back, they're already on their way, for sure. For sure, because this one ends where this one picks up. So like they're going through this process of balancing their energy. There's a 7's got tapped, 2 7's got tapped, so they're still in process, but like they're definitely moving toward union with you. They definitely remember this energetic pull to you. They know that you're someone they feel drawn to. And they don't want to go out into the world again. They already did that. I think they've seen what's out there and they're like, all due respect to what's out there, but I want to go back to here and I want to write this sun card and get it upright, and this time reach our full union, our full, I mean, and again with this 10 of coins being sublimated, you see the tree that's growing out of their bodies. It's something they build together. It's something they manifest together. It's a third party. It's its own separate project or thing, a baby, a home, even like a business partnership. Like there's something they want to grow something with you. They want to create a life with you. Shit, this is intense, vibey fire energy for sure. So yeah, this is definitely big, big, big soulmate energy. So congrats. And oh yeah, I was gonna do, just for while you're still in separation, I was gonna pull a true love reading card for you. Just to see, you know, because this isn't about waiting for the person. That's silly. They're in their 7s. It could take a while for them to keep leveling up. So even though I think they do have the intention to come back to you, it's best for you to just keep working on yourself and working on your stability, your abundance, your growth, because that's what they're doing, which is very cool. So let's see, what is something for you to work on during this separation? What can you glean from the experience? Ugh. I find it very hard to shuffle these. Okay, somebody wants to jump. Ooh, the silver waterfall. Okay. So yeah, this card, oh, I love the rainbow up here. That jumps out at me for sure. This card is about cleansing and renewal. It's about, since this is like a rebirth kind of thing, it's about letting go of the past, letting yourself feel renewed, feel realigned, definitely within yourself. There's like these 2 birds flying up here, but I feel I'm drawn to just the one swan. Like this is you by yourself, working on yourself, keeping your vibration raised, keeping your energy clean and clear, and trying to stay aligned with whatever spiritual practices make you feel healthy and whole. If you feel like you're too deep in this fantasy energy about the other person, I think it would be a good idea to take like a cleansing bubble bath or shower or something, and just try to like let go of them. Let go of the situation. Don't try to control it. It's on Saturn's time, so it's culminating on its own time. It's definitely not for you to, oh my god, your bottom deck energy is soulmate. Ah! Okay, love it. That's great. But see, they're 2 little butterfly people, so I do think it's like you gotta treat yourself like you're still in your chrysalis a little bit. You gotta just keep letting, just be in your butterfly goo. You're not fully formed yet. You're not ready to like emerge into this beautiful, absolutely lovely soulmate connection. Just keep working on your own personal growth as much as possible. And don't get too, this is easier said than done, but don't get too weighed down about things like timing. And like, when is this person gonna arrive? What can I do? Like, there's nothing you can do to manifest this connection any faster. It definitely, with the World card being so prominent, it's a cycle that's gonna close in its own time. It's gonna culminate in its own time. And I think it's gonna be it's gonna feel very good. Whatever you decide to do with this person, I assume move forward in a loving connection, but whatever ends up happening, it's happening on its own time. And I'm very happy for you. This is very lovely energy. So, thanks for watching. I hope this resonated. If it didn't, please leave a mean comment and let me know. And I hope to see you again. Bye! Hi, welcome to your reading. If you chose Group 2, oh, you got 2 aces already. The Soothing Rose Hibiscus Skin Detox. You picked the water pile. Oh my goodness, a lot of queens and oh, you have 3 aces. Oh my goodness. So yeah, a lot of emotional energy already. You have all 4 aces. Oh my god. Okay. So definitely There's a lot going on here. Since this is a separation video, I almost feel like you feel like you're due some new opportunities. Like you've been waiting a long time for an energy reset to experience some new opportunities. The water pile, yeah, this is definitely a person you feel incredibly emotionally connected to. Maybe you've been waiting on them a long time. Let me see if that's. This is, I'm really not good at like arranging these in general, but especially on camera, it's odd. Yeah, okay, that's good enough. So we start with the Ace of Coins. So whoever this person is, I don't have any doubt that they feel emotionally connected to you with all four aces here, and they definitely in the future they want an opportunity to offer you something very substantial. I don't know if they're ready to do that right now at this moment, but they're definitely making plans to do that. I see that for sure. It's a very substantial offer because even with all these aces, the most important one is the Ace of Coins. Like they're really serious about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think they're definitely harboring, a lot of emotional energy for you. The Queen of Cups in the water pile is feeling incredibly emotional, maybe actually a bit inundated by their emotions. I see in sort of on either side of her, these cards aren't tapped, so I see them as a subconscious energy so far, but influencing the Queen, is that with the Knight of Coins reversed, this person might not really have a path to move forward. They feel scared or anxious about moving forward. Yeah, you guys might have had a falling out of some sort, and that's why all these aces are here. This person wants to restart something with you, but they feel like, their emotions are kind of getting the better of them at this point. They feel so strongly that it's starting to get debilitating almost. Starting to pull them back, hold them back. I hope you can see that, Queen. Can you even see it? That's, lovely Queen of Cups. So yeah, they are needing to exercise a lot of strength. Yeah, I definitely feel that. They're needing to call on their more assertive, dynamic qualities, but they feel so much fear that there's going to be some disaster. I think they definitely fear rejection, and it's taking them a lot of time to let go of their sort of this catastrophic thinking that they're really attached to right now. These kind of like negative fantasies are like inundating your person's mind. They're kind of swamped with all these different ideas for what could go wrong, or how maybe you don't actually like them that much, or you're already with someone, or you won't think they're good enough. I think they just have a lot of insecurity here, and so they're having to really conquer that. It's really hard for them to be the one to make the first move, and I don't know if that's what you're expecting. I'm not sure. This person isn't a very receptive yin energy, regardless of like their normal gender expression or anything like that. They are definitely in a more yin phase with their relationship to you. They feel shy around you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think they're going through a big transformation right now. It almost feels like this transformation is like sneaking up on them, because they're in such a weird, watery, emotional place. I do think, like their emotions are absolutely getting the better of them, and kind of there's this debilitating fear. I mean, ultimately, we know that death isn't a bad card. It's a card that heralds in restructuring, transformation. It's a welcome change that brings about the growth that we need to move forward. That's why death's on a horse. It's a forward-moving energy, and it reduces to a 4, so it's related to the Emperor. The Emperor builds the structure, makes it nice and stable and secure, and then death comes along, totally wipes that structure away and gives us room to build a new structure. So they're wanting a rebirth with you. And that's kind of what this energy is moving them toward, but I think it's quite slow moving because they're really experiencing a lot of fear and doubt. Yeah, and that's it. That's the end. It takes us right back to the Queen of Cups. Let me double check. 4, 6, 8. Yeah. So, yeah, I kind of get this feeling of them being like in this like underwater cavern and the tide is rising. Or they feel like it is. Like this person, there's just a tiny amount of water in their feet, around their feet. But like, yeah, it feels like the tide is rising and they're like, I can't do anything, I'm trapped, I can't do anything, I'm trapped, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck. But then it's like, you're the Queen of Cups, like, babe, you can swim. Like, you were made to swim through these emotional waters. Like, this water all comes from you. It's like Alice in Wonderland when she, like, cries all those tears and then she drowns in them. And it's like, but that's your energy. Like, you can swim through the waters of your own emotional waters. Like, you can navigate it, you can make it. But they're stuck in a really disempowered energy right now. So what's going on with them is they're just trying to balance everything out. They can't offer you this cup of love, their passion, any clarity, any messages. They can't reach this Two of Cups energy until they manage to get on stable ground again. Until they manage to sort of conquer their own fears, conquer their own anxieties. And then when they come forward, I think they will actually come forward quite cautiously and almost like weirdly nonchalant. It's very strange. Yeah, I think they might try to hide a lot of this. Might be a little bit sneaky. Water energy can be very sneaky because there's this fear of vulnerability. So I'm going to do a 5-7 reading for just clarity, extra messages. A 5-7 reading is just where you lay out 7 cards and you count to 5s to tap them all. It's hard to explain, but I just do a lot of readings that involve counting. I don't know why. Anyways, so I want to ask about, I guess, the trajectory of their emotional journey, when they'll be ready, when they'll have gone through this transformative energy and reached this higher vibration of the Queen of Cups, who's very loving and very giving and very receptive as well, very open to receive love. So let's see, walk me through the emotional journey here. See the 9 of Cups reversed. So they're not ready to accept good things into their life yet. That's something that's coming through. Okay, so wish I could make a nice beautiful little rainbow arc, but I'm so bad at that. So first card, yeah, Knight of Cups. They're very afraid to reach out, for sure. I think they want you to reach out. I definitely feel like they want you to be the one who takes charge and goes for it. I think they're afraid if they reach out to you, you will just like push them back or rebuff them or reject them. They're really, I don't know if this is a founded fear or not, because they're going through so much emotional energy. It's hard to say what's reasonable and what's just purely like their own anxious mind, like manifesting the worst possible outcomes. That's the garbage truck, excuse me. Oh, okay. So yeah, all these Cups cards coming up reversed, for sure. The King of Cups is a very depressive card in this deck. This is someone who like needs to retreat for long periods of time. I get definite Scorpio energy, that's Scorpio energy as well. I get some Cancer energy with this too. But yeah, with this like little horse also, see how their horse hooves are shoved into this tiny cup? It's like they're not ready to leave their safe little space. And it's almost like their safe little womb is going to kick them out at some point. It's going to force the change on them. They're not going to enact it themselves, because like Besides, there's only 4 cards tapped, and half of them are the major arcana, which is saying that, like, this is like, this transformation is something that's being forced on them. Like, they're being forced out of hiding. They're being forced to come back from the dead. Whatever's gone on, I just think they've had a really rough go of it. Might not even be related to you specifically. Next card is this one. Okay. So the moon in this deck, for me, is a definite soulmate energy. I think you definitely call to their soul. If they do make the choice to come out of hiding, essentially, it's because they do feel this call, this pull so strongly. Like, the moon is just... The moon has very high priestess vibes in this deck. And then also there's this incredible, like, receptive, nurturing, loving energy that I get from this one. Like, she's sending... You can see these little ghosties on here. She's sending energy down, out into the world. And I think this person feels you on a very emotional level. They feel you, and you're like a very beautiful presence in their mind, in their heart space almost. But it's reversed, so they don't feel finished. They don't feel done. If you guys meet by chance, which is more likely than them consciously choosing to come back into your life, but not impossible, I think they'll feel like they're not ready, like they need more time in the oven. They'll feel like maybe somewhat malformed still, like they're not, they're not, they might not feel good enough. They might have self-esteem issues. No, yeah, okay, so again, yeah, I definitely feel like this is not something that they're going to manifest back into reality, at least not consciously. I think if anything, it's sort of like the wheel's gonna turn and force them. I see this water spilling out of this cup. Like, it's gonna force them, dump them back into your life almost. This watery feeling of them just like getting swept up in the deluge and just like ending up in front of you and being like, no, I wasn't ready. There's that feeling for sure. They're definitely hiding from you. Yeah, again, okay, so they don't feel very balanced. They don't feel like, with all this water, it could feel like their inner fire's been put out, honestly. Like, they're out of balance. Like, they're too far in this sort of passive, hiding, yin, like, dark place, which is very nourishing and healing. The moon is very nourishing and healing and accepting and loving in this deck, but at some point, it's like it's time to step back out into the sun. It's time for that. This is the 4 energy. It's time to build something stable, build something up, build up the perfect fire and tend to it and let it warm you and light your way. And they're resisting doing that because I think they've gotten used to hiding away. And so it's a struggle to cultivate these more dynamic Aries Leo qualities. I don't know if this is like a very wounded fire sign or just like a water sign who has been through too much, who's felt too vulnerable in the past and been hurt. But I definitely feel like this is an incredibly sensitive person, and they're dealing with some really deep feelings of inadequacy and pain. So they need patience. 5 of Cups. Yeah, they have a lot of fears to deal with. And again, it's this feeling of being like totally inundated. Like, yeah, the water just comes up and there's all these weird sea creatures, all these things they don't want to think about, all these old hurts that resurface, and that's why they're trying to stay on dry land, but I just see the water creeping up. And it's like, it's something that has to happen for their healing, but I think they're going to let it get to the point where they are like drowning before they finally take action and try to swim to where they want to actually be. Oh, shut up. This happened with group 1 too. Yeah, it's all about death. It's all about the transformation. And this death card is beautiful. Yeah, you might have some overlap. Well, I don't know, actually. I don't know. I'm just looking at this moth. This, like, they're in transformation. They're in process. I didn't expect it to, but like obviously it ends there. Of course, it ends with their transformation. This person, the reason they're not around and they're maybe really frustrating you is because like they're percolating some big energy. They're going through a big change. This is not easy for them, and they definitely deserve a lot of space and compassion because death energy is never easy to deal with. I think they feel like they've been dead. I feel like I see a lot of depression cards. I think they've been through a really hard time, and it's hard for them to embrace things that feel good. It's very scary to, it's obviously, sometimes people don't want to feel good because we all know that if we allow ourselves to be happy, then that means the source of our happiness can be taken away. So it's almost like they don't want to be loving, they don't want to be in a happy relationship because they're scared that when they let their guard down and decide that they love you and they want to be with you, you're just gonna like vamoose. You're gonna up and leave. Be like, well, thanks for the ride. This is my stop. So I do think like, yeah, right now they're in a place where they'd rather be unhappy but feel safe and secure than actually take a risk and move toward you. It's like their ego has to die a little bit, for sure, with this decapitated head. Yeah, the snake. I think of the snake shedding its own skin. They have to shed their skin first, so you got to give them space. So, sorry to reach across camera. While they're doing that, what can you work on? Because they're going through a big change. I'm sure there's something you could focus on instead. What can my group 2 people work on instead of waiting? Maturity! Yay! Everybody's favorite thing to work on. Maturity and bottom deck energy compatibility. So yeah, this is a really mature energy. This is maturity. A lot of what this deck talks about with maturity is recognizing that it's nobody's responsibility to make you happy, even though obviously romantic relationships can be very fulfilling and make us feel like our life has meaning and purpose. Part of embracing maturity is understanding that it's your responsibility to make yourself happy, and this isn't about this other person being the missing piece. I think you're in the water pile, so with this watery energy, sometimes when we get, I have a Cancer moon, so I'm not judging, but we expect the other person to like fulfill some part of us, to understand us on this like deep, intense, incredibly emotional level. And then when they don't, we can feel angry or let down. So I think this is a good time for you to examine your own relationship dynamics and maybe your own triggers in relationships, because this person is definitely coming with their own baggage. And with the compatibility card, I see that this relationship is going to be work. You're going to have to work on how you communicate with each other, because definitely this person has emotional baggage and emotional triggers, and I'm sure you do too, because you're human. And we all have past experiences that basically aggregate and become emotional blockages. So you're both going to have to work hard to balance your own energies to come together as very mature individuals who are ready to be in a loving relationship. And yeah, and I also just feel like this person is with you on some level. You are in the water pile. This is a soulmate connection for sure. And I feel this with the moon card, like you call to them. So like, obviously you can carry hope and excitement for a future relationship with this person, but it's about not allowing that to eclipse your own self-development and your own growth. Because the more you work on yourself, and especially doing your shadow work, the more ready you're going to be to actually deal with the challenges that this relationship will face. But yeah, I mean, this is a really sweet, it's kind of a sad energy, but it's very beautiful. And I do think when this person comes back into your life, it will be a very sweet culmination. Something that's been a long time coming, I'm sure. And I'm really excited for you. I'm happy for you. So I hope you liked that video. If you didn't, please leave a mean comment, and I'll see you again sometime. Thank you. Hiya, welcome if you picked group 3, the Lavender stress relief, or the Knight of Swords. You picked the air pile. I love that you got the Knight of Swords on the top of the air pile. That makes a lot of sense. The air pile is an interesting one to pick. It's kind of like the most complicated of the elemental assignments for the piles. It's the one where you're the most likely to not have met your person yet, or to have them be like an abstraction almost, like they exist in your energy field, or even not even that, like they just exist as a thought form in your mind, or they're sort of more of an astral energy. But I mean, so the air pile like encompasses thought forms, ideas, ideals, your morals, your ambitions, but also your worries, your anxieties, any form of conflict, of course. So your person, either your person and you are going through a time of sort of really intense strife and separation, or you haven't met your person yet, or your person may just be out of reach and you're in some form of limited contact. Definitely this one is the hardest to explain. Let's just get into it. So obviously what I see with your person is that there's almost like a bit of a runner vibe that I get right off the bat. Or either they're kind of a bit of a runner, they're in, they're out, they're here, they're there. Or there's someone who is a bit abrasive at times, and maybe you guys get into a lot of conflict. And there's someone, yeah, they're definitely someone who needs to learn to slow down, with Temperance being in the, being untapped, being sort of more of an unconscious energy. It's like they haven't quite learned how to cool down in a conflict. Like they're not great with conflict. They kind of just pop off at the mouth, and they're just like, well, I am who I am, like I'm real, like I'm this, I'm that, and it's just, it feels a bit abrasive, to be honest. It feels a bit confrontational, maybe unnecessarily so. This leads to the wheel, so I definitely feel like since this is a soulmate reading, of course this person is in your life for a reason. And I do think that like you make each other very happy. I think you're attracted to each other and you respect or admire each other in some way. With the Nine of Coins here and this being like the air pile, I think in some way you are this person's ideal, or they're yours, or both. And so there is something kind of, it does feel like there's big energy here with the wheel. There's something karmic or fated about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think this is the person that envisions, this is kind of like the person that you envision having a happy future with, almost. They're not here right now though, and it's hard to tell if it's just a fantasy or if it's something real. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's intense karmic energy that needs to be transmuted with the Devil here and the Nine of Wands. I think you might be one of those, if you guys have dated in the past, you might be one of those couples who fight a lot or who break up and get back together, and it gets to be really tiring, that kind of energy of like, well, what is the point if all we do is fight, if we're always in conflict? But ultimately you both really see something in each other that you admire, that kind of feels like, well, that feels like that feels like the mother of my children or the father of my children. Like there's something there, there's potential. It's just it's not always easy to access it or bring it to fruition. It's hard to nail the energy down and bring it into the material. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. But yeah, I do feel like there is kind of like a rebirth coming. I do feel like this person has intentions to come back into your life. I think you do make them really, really happy. There's something really sweet here, a really sweet, yeah, I mean, obviously this is a soulmate video, but I mean, I think there's something really simple and uncomplicated, like when it's good, it's very good. When you both are really open and playful with each other. It's kind of like nothing else you've ever experienced. Yeah. but then we're here. Okay. So the challenge here is kind of to like let go of your stress and anxiety about the connection. Or maybe this is your person's challenge. I think whatever blockages, I think you've experienced more karmic blockages, or maybe like when you met each other, one or both of you wasn't mature enough to pursue something serious. One of you might have been in a like sowing your wild oats kind of phase of your life. And I feel like your person is beginning to slow down, is starting to get a little bit burnt out and wanting something that has more real emotional substance. They may not be someone who's naturally super in tune with their feelings, or someone who listens to their intuition that easily. So it's kind of like they have to go out into the world to experience all these different things, to understand what actually nourishes their soul, what actually is energy that's worth investing in. Yeah, let me double check that. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so back to the Sun card. So yeah, ultimately, I think your person has very, very high hopes for this connection. And this could be even them charging back toward you. I could almost see that. I mean, with this energy, I feel like they're more likely to show up in your life sooner rather than later. That's definitely a feeling I get. They may be a little bit on the burnt out side with this, but then when they think of you, I think it totally recharges them. Both of these cards are next to Page of Cups, Six of Cups. These really sweet, playful, youthful, uncomplicated energies. I feel like you might feel like the most uncomplicated part of their life, actually, now that I look at it. I think they may have a lot of anxieties and worries, a lot of things on their plate, but when they think of you, it actually all feels so simple and good and sweet. I think, yeah, they kind of idealize you a little bit. They hold you up in their head as like, this is my ideal person. Their attachment gets kind of intense sometimes, actually. They definitely, I think, have a lot of sexual thoughts towards you, but they want to come into your life respectfully. They don't want to express that to you. That's kind of lurking beneath the surface, but they're like, we'll get to that when we get to that. I always think of this little, on the bottom of the wheel, there's like this sexy little devil with like, come on, with like major cakes. I feel like they're like, we'll get to that when it's time. Like there's a sense of timing there. It's always a really specific message to get with that wheel. I cannot look at that sexy little devil down there like, wow, who is she? But, okay, so, got 5-7. Yours was very fast. I don't know, there's not a lot of cards and not a lot got tapped. So it's like, what's on their conscious mind? Well, first of all, in terms of what's in their control, what they're focusing on is like manifesting their best life, and they want you in it, but also they can't they can't do everything themselves. There's a limit to what they can do. There is an element of like the timing has to be right. I don't know, it's like you have to be single. That's definitely part of it. It might be they spend a certain amount of time waiting for you to get out of a relationship, or vice versa. That could be part of it. But also, it's like they just needed some time to explore their options, to know what was out there. So what are the signs that this person is charging back into Group 3's life? We're going to do a 5-7 reading, which is just 7 cards. You count 5 cards and flip it over and then keep going. I do a lot of readings with counting. I couldn't tell you why, it's just what I do. But yeah, what are the signs of this person is coming back? so. Number 1, King of Wands. That's interesting. So it may be that they'll come back to you once they've completed some kind of cycle. They've reached some kind of culmination in another part of their life, where they'll kind of... I do see this King and this Queen of Wands. It may be that once they get out of a relationship with someone else. I hope this person's not a double dipper. But I definitely feel like they're going to go down a certain path, experience that to the fullest with the King of Wands, and then come back to you with swiftness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and now we're the King of Swords. I do think, weird. It's kind of like, it's like they have to release a lot of ego, which I do get. The Knight of Swords can be a very egotistical person, especially like in terms of how they communicate, not super sensitive. And it seems like in order to get to you, they have to cultivate some temperance first. So there's like acknowledging one's own faults. It's kind of like this really harsh, self-castigating energy, this ego death energy of having to like recognize the ways in which one has been really immature, been a clod, or just, yeah, especially because this is the air pile, which can talk about conflict a lot, that typical swords theme. So maybe it's just acknowledging the ways that they kept themselves back from opportunities, possibly with you, through their own egotistical behavior. 2, 3. Yeah. So it is about... Why is the 4 of Wands here? It's kind of like they have to leave behind something stable. Again, with these Kings reversed, it's like they've built up something very stable, something that works for them, and no one can say they're like not successful, but it's not really lighting their inner fire. Like they're keeping the lights on at home. Everything's running fine. They have a place, but it's like this isn't the place that they want. They don't feel like a king. They don't feel like they feel kind of shitty. They feel like there's this incompleteness. 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, there will be some kind of call towards something greater. And I do think that will relate to bringing them back into your life. That call. But they won't be ready to hear that call until they sort of acknowledge that what they have isn't fulfilling them at the moment. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so they'll have to go on a journey. This card for me definitely is about it's about learning from experience, especially painful experiences. And what better pile than the air pile for that to show up? It's about examining all the choices you've made and acknowledging the ways in which your ego kept you from your greatest potential, or when you just acted impulsively, when you were thoughtless, careless, selfish. All those things, and like just acknowledging it, and not necessarily about committing hara-kiri, but just like being, instead of being this energy of shame, instead of being like, well, how can I learn and grow from this? See that? Do you see the candle on there? Yeah, it's like, what's the illumination I can get from these experiences, the real growth I can get from them. And I do think that leads them to this sun energy, which is much more creative and joyful. Yeah. So I do see this as them again, because this night is all about like having everything you need. Like the key to the kingdom is within you. All the treasures within you. You have the treasure and the key. You don't need to go anywhere else. But because it's reversed, I think again it's like, it's just acknowledging again all these reverse cards. I just feel like they're just, when they do come back to you, I do think it's going to be really sudden. They might just pop back up into your life, either through their own means or because of the wheel. But it won't happen until they fully acknowledge that, like, I don't have this treasure, what I truly, truly want more than anything. I just don't have it in my current situation. When they stop, I'm just thinking of the song, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. When they stop chasing waterfalls, when they stop chasing instant gratification, when they stop just running toward whatever seems cool in the moment. Yeah, I do. Yeah, when they finally acknowledge that, like, it's not about, they may romanticize things a lot and think that something will, like, the grass is always greener kind of thing. They think that it'll make them so happy and it'll be incredible and perfect and it'll be the missing piece. But when they won't be able to actually find that missing piece until they stop looking with their sort of eyes and instead start looking with their soul. I'm sorry, that sounds so corny, but like, this judgment is blindfolded. And I definitely feel like it's not about looking with the eyes, it's about looking with the soul. Like this eye on this fire is what's really important. And yeah, this soulmate energy, when they learn to actually hear that call, when that is something they can consciously understand, which they can't yet because this card is untapped, it's not conscious energy, then they'll find their way back to you. But right now the most they can do is acknowledge that you're someone who, which this isn't a small thing, but they acknowledge that you're someone who makes them feel really happy and really excited. And yeah, you really make them feel optimistic. I just feel like the reason you're in separation right now, what's going on with this person, is that they're really growing up and they're gonna pursue a lot of different paths and maybe go down a lot of different dead ends. I see that with this here, before they're ready to go down the right avenue with you, walking off into the sunset. Very sweet. I don't know if this is like, yeah, I don't know what the future of this is, but I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of sweetness once your person has grown up a little bit. So in the meantime, while your person is doing their thing, what is something, I'm gonna pull a true love reading card for you. Just something for you to focus on. So, you know, I'm very into being productive. So just giving you some homework. No, I'm just kidding. Alright. So what is something for group 3 to focus on before this person comes into your life? I don't know if you've met this person or not yet. It's possible they want to come back to you, or it's possible like they haven't even discovered that you're out here. Like, you may not even be, when they meet you, they might be like, oh shit, this is it, this time it's real. Like, I just see little like sirens going like this is not a drill. But we'll see. Goodness. What is something for group 3 to work on? Okay, let's just take it. Okay, I'll take 2. Fine. Oh, okay. Interesting. So we have the silver waterfall and reparenting yourself. Okay, that's an interesting thing to come up in this reading. So you may both be like really young, honestly. I don't know if, I mean, this person may bring up, because they can be kind of an unstable energy, frankly. They may bring up a lot of unresolved issues from your past, especially your childhood. If like you had sort of like insecure attachment patterns with your parents, like if you felt really unsupported in certain ways in your childhood, this person may trigger a lot of those issues. And so this may be more on the karmic end of the scale. Not saying this isn't like a soulmate connection, but there may be some karmic issues here that both of you need to work out. So definitely a challenge with this person, I feel like, is not reacting when you feel triggered by them, and instead focusing on, you know, what they're triggering in you and why you feel that way, and what that links back to, and kind of using it as an opportunity to do some soul work almost. And the silver waterfall is all about washing away old energies that aren't serving us, washing away other people's energy. Like you may be a watery person, and like if this person comes at you really aggressively and really intensely, like you may be wanting to just like pop back at them. And so this is about just like releasing that energy, letting it flow away, and not being responsible for this person's bullshit. Like if you find that they're bringing you a lot of strife or a lot of, not misery, but they're bringing up a lot of uncomfortable emotional issues, you can either work with it, journal about it, just examine those feelings, sit with them, be mindful, or else just like take a nice shower and let it wash away and let it go. Because you're not here to take on this person's emotional burdens. You're not here to take on their heaviness. They're going through a lot of big changes. They're realizing that a lot of things they invest their energy into are just ultimately dead ends, that they're forms of success that are unfulfilling on a spiritual or emotional level. Because this is the air pile, I don't think that they're necessarily at this point very awakened or in tune with the more spiritual parts of themselves, but this is completely an opportunity for you to continue moving forward with the spiritual parts of yourself. Oh, there's more than, never mind. Oh my god. My brain is getting, I had the hardest time talking with this group, and I'm just weird because this is the air pile, but I do feel like this person is a very confusing energy. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what they want, and maybe that's very frustrating. This could be like a runner. Someone who's in and out, for sure. Oh my god, your bottom deck energy is sexual freedom. So yeah, I don't think you should be waiting for this person necessarily. This is a soulmate connection to some degree for them to show up. But also, I wouldn't assume that they're gonna... Like, if you have other romantic options, honestly, it's fine to explore them. I have a feeling this person, at certain points in time, will be exploring other romantic options than you. So, yeah, I think this one might be a slow burner, for sure. Because there's just a lot of learning to do, and I think if you stay focused on your own learning and your own growth, it will serve you better than getting wrapped up in this person's sometimes confusing or infuriating energy. Not to be rude. Anyways, that is your reading. I hope that was helpful. If it didn't resonate, feel free to check out the other piles, or, just thumbs down the video, block and report. Hello and welcome, group 4. You chose the Queen of Swords, or the Purely Peppermint. You picked the Earth pile. Let's see, okay, I'm seeing big energy here. So with this type of reading, not all the cards get tapped. Basically, some of these cards represent unconscious energies. And yeah, I'm excited to see what gets tapped. There's definitely some interesting energy in here. Let me just make sure all the cards are out. Okay. So with the Earth pile, the first thing I get is that your person is going through a very pragmatic phase of their life, where they're working hard to manifest something, to balance something. It's probably they're working on making money, or they're in school, or they're just working on their health. Anything practical, really. They're more focused on practical projects than anything else. The Queen of Swords, I get that energy as well, that they're definitely in a very pragmatic state of mind. They may not be very open to pursuing relationships right now, and that could be why you're not with them. You might not have met them yet either. This may not be a connection that's grounded physically, or I'm not sure yet. But the Queen of Swords definitely doesn't feel super open to anything right now. She's focusing on herself. Yeah, okay, so that leads Right to the Four of Coins, yeah. So definitely I feel like whatever your person is doing, they're very, very focused on their physical, practical, pragmatic plans. It's possible they've had a really, really stressful year, with this Nine of Swords being sort of in the subconscious energy next to the Four of Coins. So they may be projecting an image that they have everything under control and everything's going really well. But they may have had they've been having a pretty hard time. They've been feeling kind of drained. They've been feeling really stressed out. But they're working really, really hard. And I do think, yeah, this is the most important thing to them is whatever their project is. And I think more than anything, they value feeling stable right now. They're not wanting to make any sudden moves. Okay, well actually, maybe not. This is interesting. So, I kind of take that back. There's a part of them that is feeling really daring. I feel like whatever project they're working on, they have a really strong vision for it. Yeah, they're holding on to what they have very, very tightly. But at the same time, the reason they're holding on to it so tightly is because they want to use it to manifest something even greater. And with the Queen of Swords, there is a definite long-term vision here. The Magician between the Lovers and the Two of Swords is telling me that like they're being very wise with how they choose to invest their energy. They may not be open to relationships right now, even if they feel called to it on a more energetic level. With all this Swords energy, they may be putting a lot more energy into their work because it's a safe thing to focus on, rather than looking for any emotional connections. With the combination of the Queen of Swords and the Earth pile, I'm feeling this person is feeling incredibly pragmatic, incredibly logical, but they're putting it to good use. They have incredible vision as well, and they're in a kind of a strong manifestation energy right now. Interesting. Yeah, so with the Queen of Swords on the top, and then the King of Swords reversed, I think this person is actively not looking for a relationship. That's what I get. They are moving away from that. I think in the past, their relationships have caused them way too much strife, way too much bother. It's possible that you and this person have been together and you've broken up, but maybe not. Either way, the idea of pursuing something with another person is not appealing to them at the moment. I think they're focusing on their own greatest abundance with the Empress right there. They're like, I can do this by myself. I can create anything I want to create. I have that power all within myself, the power to generate anything I want. They have a really strong vision and also just like very strong will. I'm getting an incredibly strong-willed vibe from your person. Very stubborn. Yeah, I feel like this person, yeah, I get kind of Taurus vibes for sure, Libra vibes for sure, maybe Aquarius as well. But really, this is just anyone who's going through a very methodical, practical phase of their life. They're not in their emotions at all. 9. Yeah, I think when they do get emotional, when they do try to think about their the emotional side of things, it really, sorry, you can't see this, it's the 9 of Swords. They really get incredibly upset. It's something that they could lose a lot of sleep over. It's something that feels so out of their power, out of their control, and they hate that feeling. Like, they absolutely reject the feel. I'm getting fixed sign energy, even though the Magician is mutable. This is very Gemini, but I feel like they're in a really fixed phase of their life where they need to be in control. I think at time of filming, obviously, 2020, a lot of people feel really out of control, and so the idea of these kind of new age concepts we have about like surrendering to the divine and like manifesting things using mantras or affirmations, I feel like that is not what your person is into right now. They're into like real practical steps. Even though unconsciously I think that they are an incredibly strong manifester, they're totally leading with the logical side of their brain completely. Yeah. Yeah, and the logical side of their brain is kind of cutting them off from their greatest happiness. I don't think they really fully realize that. That I think they're the driving force behind this separation 100%, whether they're explicitly like, I don't want to talk to you, or if they just are like holding themselves back from opportunities to meet new people. They're just absolutely not interested in love right now. They may have just gotten out of a relationship. They may have just broken up with someone. That's also a possibility. Seeing the Three of Swords leads right back to this reversed king, and that's where the reading ends. Very simply and clearly, your person is saying, no. Absolutely not. I'm not interested in love. I'm not open to love. I just thought of the song I Won't Say I'm in Love from Hercules. Yeah, that is the mood with your person. Like, if you guys do have a sort of established connection, I think the reason this King of Swords is reversed is because the Queen's like, no, that's not my counterpart. What would make you say that? What would make you think that the Queen and King of Swords would go together? That doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous. I don't know, you're totally left field. Like, they're just like, no. So yeah, your person is focusing on manifesting incredibly powerful new energies into their life right now. Things that they really highly value, that seem really important to them, and things that feel safe, things that feel like are going to be good investments. That's really important to your person. I don't know if love in general seems like a bad investment to them, or if you guys have had a falling out in the past, if you know them, but they definitely don't feel like you're a safe investment at this time. I feel like love is not a safe investment. Yeah, and they tend to manifest separation and strife because of their own fears surrounding love. I just saw 911 on my on the camera. So yeah, love feels like a crisis to them. It does not feel, they feel out of their depth when it comes to love. So they're ignoring it. And that's why you're in separation with your person. Okay, so let's do a 5-7 about when the signs that you're this is so messed up. It's okay, I'm done with it. It does look ugly though, that's too bad. Some people can make a really beautiful, nice rainbow arc, but and these cards, they spin very easily. Okay, so I didn't show anyone else the bottom deck for energy because I don't usually pay attention to it, but you got the 9 of Cups reversed. I think another group that popped out with them as well. But yeah, so this person isn't ready for wish fulfillment. This person isn't ready for union. I'm not comfortable with that at this time. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog rolling around on his butt in the background. He likes to spin in circles. Okay. Signs that this person will be ready for love again. The 2 of Cups. I think this person is gonna take a little while to come and approach you. I do think they will be the one who wants to initiate the first move. I don't think they want you making a move on them right now. They feel very closed off. So I think you'll sense a change in their energy. Maybe there'll be like a softness, an openness, or maybe the opposite will happen and there'll be like a shyness. Like you feel like they're trying to hide away from you a little bit. They're obviously not in love with being vulnerable, this person. Whoop, Magician. So there's that Magician again. Yeah, I think you'll feel an energetic shift. Right now this person is in the earth pile because they're focusing their manifestation energy on earthly successes, earthly things. And I think when they focus their energy on you, they will focus more into like a watery energy, is my guess. And you'll definitely feel like their energy has changed. I think they'll it's kind of like that feeling of like, just when you make eye contact with a person sometimes and it feels really intense and vibey, like they'll start focusing their energy on you and you will feel the difference. And it might be kind of off-putting. Oh my god. Humphrey, please stop! He can't hear me. He's deaf. Stop! Thank you. He's coming over. Okay, yeah. So they'll start making moves toward you, and I do feel like, yeah, first it'll be like a change that you feel. It'll be more subtle, and then they'll start making like little gestures, like little baby steps, and I think they'll feel really stupid. I think that's why, like this Knight of Pentacles, they'll feel like really scared. There might be, their behavior might be kind of weird and hot and cold, because I do think that they're going to be really frightened that they're making the wrong choice, that like this is going to be some kind of disaster, that they're going to look foolish. That's definitely a feeling. They're going to feel kind of exposed. I see with this exposed bone. Like they're giving themselves away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, so again with the hot and cold, it'll be like they make a little baby step towards you and then they like stop. They like freeze. So like, yeah, this person feels kind of, I can see why you'd be frustrated with this person, but they just don't want to be vulnerable, and I do think they overthink things hugely. So yeah, there might be like this stop and go quality when they're ready to move towards you. It'll sometimes feel like it was in your head. You'll have to really trust your gut and trust your intuition with it, because again, I think they do most of their communicating in a kind of underground level. Like they'll just be sending, you know, like that I don't know if this is like a Tumblr text post or a Twitter thing, but like girls shoot their shot by like imagining scenarios with you in bed before they fall asleep. Like, I guess this is what this reminds me of, is like they're gonna shoot their shot by like thinking about you really obsessively, and then when you see them they'll like be like, oh hey, and like have 5 minutes of small talk with you, and then just like go somewhere else, and it's just gonna be like, what do you want? It's gonna be very frustrating. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think it's gonna like, there's gonna be a lot of fear and doubt, and I you started with the 2 of Cups, and it's like, I just feel like no action gets really taken definitively, so then there starts to be like this feeling of like you're both in your feelings, but you're not fully expressing, no one's taking the big step. I feel like that's definitely a challenge here. Both of you may be wanting the other one to make the first move. Right. I get this definite trepidation. No one wants to take a step into the unknown. No one wants to take that actual risk of crossing the physical barrier. This is the first Wands card that's shown up. No one wants to actually, like, just, you know, do that thing with, like, just touch someone's arm even. Nobody wants to initiate the kiss. Nobody wants to, like, actually say, hey, I like you. I feel really drawn to you. Like, so yeah, I think you're both, there's just so much, because it takes so much time, there's a lot of uncertainty that builds up. And the final card is the Queen of Cups. So it's kind of like this person's fighting being in their emotional energy, which definitely makes sense with this whole reading, but it's like finally, it's like the energy is gonna build up to a point that it's just gonna be like, it's like you're ready to burst. I'm just seeing her giant tummy. Like, it's like there's, at some point, it's just going to grow so big that it's just going to have to be birthed. And I think it's going to be like, I think your person is just going to really fight it, because this is such a lovely, vulnerable, soft energy. And your person is like, I am not that. I am, will you focus? Yeah, I'm cold. I am impenetrable. I am the wall. But like, yeah, they're finally just gonna have to, after letting all that Cups energy build and build and build, I think there's going to be a moment where it just finally has to all flood out. Like the water's going to break. Like all this water is just going to be like just flood out. So it's going to be a big moment whenever it happens, this moment of union. And I do think in the end, it's kind of like down to your person to stop being so hot and cold and actually make a decision. Actually make the move. It all starts with like acknowledging that there are real feelings here, of acknowledging this secret that they're carrying around, and moving their energy away from more material things. Yeah, they have to embrace their watery energy. That's the thing. They have to embrace their emotions. It may take a long time for that to happen though, and that is why you're in separation. Because I think even if you did make a move toward this person, they might not be ready. They might not be ready to actually move forward. They're very frightened. This feels really overwhelming to them. So they may require a lot of patience. They kind of have all the power here with the Magician showing up twice. This is their opportunity to take or turn away. And that's a very frustrating feeling. And I don't think that you should wait on them, because I think that would be incredibly frustrating. So I want to get a true love reading card for you. Oh, self-respect. That's always a good vibe. So yeah, I definitely feel like you do have things that you can work on your own. Self-respect and forgiveness. Okay, interesting. Oh, it says, I forgive myself. I am forgiven. So this person, because they're so closed off and emotionally unavailable at times, might trigger feelings of self-worth, or feeling like you don't have self-worth. And so, yeah, especially because this person will like be hot and cold, and sometimes it may leave you feeling kind of devalued or used in extreme cases. And so this is about understanding that your person's issues are not a reflection of your value. And your person is not the only person with power in this connection. It's just that in this case, because they have their own issues to overcome, they appear to have all the power. They appear to have the power of like moving towards you and then like dismissing you and moving away. But that's not the real case. The real case is you don't have to stand there and wait around for them to finally get to the point where their water is breaking. Like they've been holding back this huge flood, and finally they're forced to tell you what they feel. You have your own path and your own journey to follow, and you can leave them where they are and let them work through their shit, because it's their own shit to work through. It's not yours. And yeah, and just follow your own path. Your person is following their path toward their greatest potential, with the Magician and the Empress being here. They may be blocking themselves off from emotional fulfillment, but they are incredibly abundant, and they are working really hard toward that. And so there's no reason why you can't do the same thing. Yeah, and if you do feel like they really trigger feelings of inadequacy, that it would be a good idea to work with positive affirmations and things like that, and forgiving yourself for feeling like you're not enough. This person, yeah, they're part of what they instigate in your life, I feel like, is the ability to just work with your own self-esteem issues, work with your boundaries. Just part of self-respect is being like, I don't want to be with someone who treats me this way, whether or not they have bad intentions. I don't think your person does. I think they're really attracted to you. They just have baggage. But regardless of their intentions, sometimes it isn't acceptable the way that they treat you. You deserve better. You don't deserve to be sort of kept around while they work through their stuff. Who knows how long that'll take. And I think also part of the challenge is to forgive them. If they ever make you feel rejected or undervalued, understand that what they do isn't about you, and so part of that is forgiving them for making you feel undervalued. I do think that when you guys reach a point, if you guys reach a point where you're actually together, I don't think that will be an issue as much. It's kind of just about this melting ice queen. When all this ice melts, it's gonna be a lot of water. That's what I feel like. And I think this melting ice queen, it's all gonna melt, and then this ice queen is gonna have to learn how to swim a little bit. And that's just gonna take a minute. That's just gonna take a second. There was another group like this as well. I can't remember. Anyways, but it's gonna be very different for your person. So you will need to be patient with them if that's what you want to do. I don't think you should like wait for them. I don't think you have to wait. Definitely, because this person's back is turned and they're walking away. So I think you should be patient with them on an emotional level, but on a physical level, I think you should pursue your own path. That's part of self-respect. You can find happiness outside of this person, for sure. Absolutely you can. I think this is a person with a lot to offer, but they have to be ready to offer it. And until then, you can forgive them for being closed off and for being emotionally unavailable, but that doesn't mean you have to accept it. Not at all. And I don't think you should, because I do think you deserve something better. And hopefully, you know, I mean, this is a soulmate reading, so hopefully they will evolve and they will offer you something that's more in line with your real value. But until then, I don't think there's any reason to put all your eggs in one basket. No, just there's no reason to keep going. If you feel like you're going in circles with this person, then just find your off-ramp and go toward your own greatest happiness and abundance. And if you're meant to be with this person, they'll meet up with you along the way. As corny as that fucking sounds, they've got this magician energy here. They can manifest you into their life at any time when they focus their energy. And it's like, so you just have to wait for them to be ready. Not wait. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to use the word wait. It's not about waiting. But it's like, you just have to release them. You just have to release them and release yourself from this cycle as well. Because you just have better things to achieve. And yeah, that's what I'm going to call it. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Thank you very much for watching. And maybe I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.